Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's Hilary Smith, and I teach Spanish at Indian Hill Middle School.
Where were you and what were you doing when you first learned about the attack?
I was 25 when 9/11 happened. I was just graduated from college, and I'd been teaching for, I think it was my third or fourth year teaching, and I lived in Baltimore, Maryland, so like 90 minutes north of Washington, D.C. And I was teaching in class when I heard about the attacks. Another teacher said something in the hallway about planes crashing into the buildings. And then I went on and taught class, and then I had a break, and we were standing around looking at the footage on the television. And then, because we were so close to Washington, D.C., where a plane had crashed into the Pentagon, they called us all into the cafeteria, all the middle school students. They didn't tell the students what was going on, but they sent everyone home. And so everyone was to go home and be with their families.
What was your first reaction, and then what was your later reaction?
First reaction, I think, was just confusion. Like, everyone was confused and didn't know what to say and was staring at these images over and over again of the planes crashing into the towers in New York. And just uncertainty and feeling nervous and scared and worried. And then later, I remember my husband at that point was out of the Air Force, but still worked at an Army base because he still had really high security clearance from being in the Air Force. And so he started working 18, 20-hour days, and I just remember being at home, and the only thing that was on TV was about the 9/11 attacks. And I remember the news reporters, those people that you're just used to being so calm and impartial, being sad or even crying. And I remember I remember just sitting in front of the TV and just like crying. Like, it was just overwhelming and sad and confusing and worrying.
Did you attend a community memorial?
The first year after 9/11, I attended a community memorial. I didn't really plan to, but at that point I lived right outside of Washington, D.C. in Northern Virginia, and I lived like in an apartment building, and one of the neighbors knocked on the door and said, hey, it's going to be the memorial in a couple days. We're going to get together outside, just like a candlelight vigil, just kind of that sense of being together and honoring the people who had sacrificed, honoring the people who had gone in to rescue and help. And I'm really, really glad that that person took the leadership, the initiative to do that. It wasn't something that I realized I needed, but it was really nice to have that.
Have you visited the 9/11 memorial?
I have not.
Did 9/11 have an effect on your life? And if so, please elaborate.
I don't know how I can elaborate the effect, but it's just like I see those images in my head of being, overwhelmed and confused and just worried and sad, and then also kind of more of the hope, the feelings that came out of it of hope or of togetherness. And so I think more than anything, I can just really remember those feelings.
All right.